Hey folks, ET here coming at you with the pre-market prep. So let's get to it. So huge move yesterday, obviously off that overnight election news, and we got up there. Net flow was bullish for a large majority of the day, actually the whole day. We just did have a few spots where convergence was a little weak, where we saw tiny little pullbacks, but strong all day. Finished with a massive green DEX. Remember, this is subjective, but extreme DEX bars sometimes give us a reversal day. You can go back and look at some of the bars to see how that played out. So that is how that worked out. Let's go ahead and move on to our flow map, which was obviously quite bullish going into a lot of the different expires. Remember, everything to the right is bought, left is sold. Call buying and little bits of put selling are indeed bullish. Remember, this is a live snapshot, so check it during the open hours as well, about an hour in. Flash, our divs, not anything too crazy here. Quite a few negative divs. SPY's up another buck, I don't know, $1.60, $1.70 in the pre-market session again. So we're up a little bit there. Where are we? All right, 592.71. So already getting probably to the top of some gamma ranges. We'll check soon enough. But nothing here on divs says anything good to me at all. Doesn't say big positive, big negative. It actually says we should be dropping. There's a lot of negative divergences. So we'll have to find out how that works out a little bit later in the session. Well, customer sentiment. Huge change, but one day does not make a trend. So let's go ahead and wait. Right now, we went from, I'd say, neutral to quite bullish very quickly. So let's give this another day or so just to see what our next candle looks like. And from there, we'll go and see if we continue to that bullish side, keeping that momentum. Moving on to dark pools. Let's check our SIG prints. We had one at 597, I think, and one at 576.6. So that's a little far away from price. That's also a little far away from price at the moment as well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how all of it pans out. Mark them on your charts. Dark pool levels, ag is still at 581, around that range. Remember, the further we start to get away from something, the more I start to think we have the potential to go back to it after the longer we stay away from it, if it sticks there. A lot of times what we'll see is we will see a dark pool hold forever, and then we'll see them walk it all the way up to the price that we're at, and then it drops down to where that dark pool was initially, that largest aggregate was. It's always kind of crazy to see. Mark these on your charts. Very thick range here. Right, very, very, very dense, but we're pretty far away from that up now. We've got some new dark pools showing up here, up around here, around the 592 spot. Jumping into our gamma. Biggest pull is still 580. We're quite far away from that. 590 was that big repel we were watching on the ag. We won't even need to look at probably 572 or 556 at the moment, but we do have FOMC today, Papa Powell, and some rate decisions, so that could give us some volatility. Really, on the aggregate, there's nothing stopping SPY from just keeping on going up, minus these lower pulls. There's not a whole lot of repel in there to keep price from moving upwards. But let's check today, 11/7, just to be sure and see what today's looks like. So today's pretty interesting. Huge repel down at 570, very far from price. Biggest pull at the moment is 574, and we're up over all of this right here. Truly, we're almost getting to that 594 spot. So couple of scenarios. One, we get stuck in this positive gamma cluster here, ranging between 579 and 590 roughly for a good portion of the day. That would be one. Next scenario would be is that we get all the way down here to 572, and then we kind of go back and forth from these spots right here, because we're going to have a potential volatile range and some of those big candles that are $3 or $4 either direction today. Keep an eye on this 574. We're getting pretty far away from where our gamma is, so I'm going to want to see some gamma show up that's larger to the right of price on our charts to make me a little bit more confident in this move up. That is all for now. Everybody have a good day. Stay safe out there and go get that Oprah money.